Hello, beautiful people. Welcome. I'm so glad to have you here with me today. If you're a returning viewer, welcome. And if you're a new viewer, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here with me. So let's get into it. As always, we're talking about how to better ourselves, how to elevate to our highest potential, to our higher self, right? Okay. So, with that being said, how do you know when you are ready to elevate? How do you know when you are ready for your soul journey, right? Your awakening, your awareness. How do you know when you're ready to tap into yourself, into your soul? I think there are some great ways you can tell, and I think this is a great question. Okay, someone asked me this, and I thought, hey, let me make a video on this because actually, this is one of the best question because you can't really get on the journey if you feel as though you don't know whether you're ready or not, right? But you do know, and you will definitely know when you're ready. I think the question the person was asking was more, um, how do you know that that's what it is, right? Now, that's where it gets tricky. How do you know that, you know, and recognize that you are ready to be on this journey, to be, a journey of self awareness, right? The journey of spiritual growth. Now, if this journey is something that you actually become awakening to, it's because it's already been within you strongly for years, right? Ever since you were a child, right? It's always been within you. Although we're all spiritual, right? Every human being, every living thing have an aspect of spirituality, right? They all have spiritual awareness to some degree within them, right? This is why we have so many religions in the world, and most of us believe in God or higher power, right? But some more than others are more, I guess you can say, for lack of better words, are spiritual, right? What that means is you've just been always at, in touch with your spiritual side. Though we all have that side, not all of us are, in touch with that side, right? So because you've always been in touch with that side, more likely you will have the journey of spiritual awakening. Okay? There will come some point in your life when you consciously want to be aware of this, right? And consciously practice this, right? In your day-to-day life. Though all of us as humans and living beings on planet Earth are spiritual, and a lot of us believe in God or practice religions, not all of us are in touch with our spiritual side, right? That's why you hear things like religions are hypocrite. People who are religious are usually sinners, right? Or, you know, you believe in God, but you don't practice what you preach. Like, these things exist because not all of us are in touch with our spiritual side, right? But then when you awaken to this spiritual journey, you become more aware in the awakening part of you, in the awakening world, right? Consciously, that you are a spiritual being, and then you start paying attention to everything about you that connects to the spirit world, right? So, but how do you know that as a spiritual person, as a person that has always been in touch with their spiritual side, subconsciously, that you are ready to become aware of it consciously, right? There are ways, actually, I think most obvious ways we tend to interpret it in a negative way, right? Because sometimes we find ourselves in a place where we feel so unhappy, right? And we give it so many different names. We use so many other, resources or ways to cope with this unhappiness that we feel rather than looking at it and trying to understand what is it and why are we unhappy, right? We don't do that. Most of us don't do that. We turn to alcohol first, we'll turn to drugs, never get a chance to really ever look at it. We, we get depressed, right? We just become angry and bitter. We, I don't go to counseling and therapists, go to other people to try to figure out like what is wrong with me, you know? Instead of actually taking a deeper look within ourselves that can help us realize what the problem is. And that's your spiritual world. Okay? So, how do you know you're ready for this journey? Well, beautiful people, if you ever find yourself unhappy, that is one of your biggest signs. Okay? Not all of us get like that. Some of us can just live a simple, mediocre life and forever be happy. Some of us can look for the basics in life and that can forever keep us happy, right? That's why in the beginning I say is not everyone is as spiritual equally, right? That's why I say some of us are more spiritual, right? Because you can have these things and somehow still feel unhappy, right? And most of us do have these things, right? Um, so when you feel though that you find yourself in a position where you find yourself unhappy, um, just confused, right, about your life, about whatever it is that you feel though will make you happy, but you're lacking of. Um, it's a great time to recognize that you are ready for your spiritual journey. You are ready to consciously understand your spiritual journey and take the time to work on it inside out, right? That is one way that you can definitely tell, okay? Because it is your soul, you can say it is your soul crying to you, to awakening to its desires, right? To your desire. Your souls are crying out to you like, hey, pay attention to what you actually desire. Pay attention to what you really believe. Pay attention to what you really feel. Pay attention to how you really, interpret and understand the world around you. Pay attention to how you connect all of them for you to be a balanced being, right? For you to be centered. Um, and this is all part of your spiritual world, right? So when you go through this journey and you work on your shadow side and you work on meditation, this is all of these things what it's doing is balancing you so that you are centered to see clearly your spiritual side, your spiritual world, right? So you feeling unease, unhappy, just sometimes even you feel like you are being suffocated, within this world. Um, that's your soul screaming out to you. You can say at the top of the lungs that, hey, you're ready for this journey, okay? You have seen enough of confusion that, you know, can help you better understand, because you gotta go through things to really like and pay attention to those things to really like understand your spiritual world, right? And that's pretty much how it's like, that is one of the biggest way you can see and tell, okay? And then there are other ways where you just one day awakening to it, right? Like it just one day clicks to you, and then you just start to recognize it, pay attention to it, and practice it, right? And then there's other ways, like you have an out of body experience, right? And then once you have that out of body experience, certain things to start to click. Like you may not even ever feel the same way, you know? I definitely had an out of body experience. I've definitely spoken to people who've had out of body experience, and we all kind of share similar things, right? You just never feel as though your world is as simple as you thought it was. Like you just never really think and feel the same about the world that you live in, okay? Because your world is more than what you can understand and interpret it. And that's fine, because it's not made for you to understand all of it and interpret it all of it. It is made for you to accept it and live in it and with it, right? And your spiritual world is the best way that you can connect to yourself on such a deep level that you can't really explain it, and no one else can feel it for you but yourself. And it also helps you this, to understand this world in such a deep level, and everything else that is sharing this world, this planet with you. Okay? So everybody goes through it at some point, at somehow. Um, some people may never get the chance because they never really allowed themselves, for one reason or another. But that's definitely some of the ways that you can tell, if you had ever felt any of those stuff that I described, such as discomfort and, confusion, unhappiness. Go ahead and take a deeper look within yourself and see what you can find. Ask yourself reasons like, why do I feel this way? What makes me feel this way? And they're all going to lead you towards the path of your spiritual awakening. Okay, beautiful people? And I know you can do it because you are loved, okay? And you are guided by all of your spirits, okay? Before you, besides you, around you, in front of you, and all over you. They're always trying to guide you. So go ahead and ask the questions that you need to, so they can lead you to the doors. That is your happiness and your awakening, okay? So now, thank you, beautiful people, for always being here with me. As always, if you got at least one thing from this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And go ahead and subscribe to this channel, as I am always, every Friday, dropping a new video to better our world, Together we can create a beautiful world. So I ask you to go ahead and join me and subscribe. I love you, beautiful people. Thank you for being here with me. Mwah. You have a blessed day. Bye.